We are live like we never left. Another Monday here at the desk for Sports Den. I'm Ted LaRue alongside Matt Dean, and we are jam-packed with some good variety of highlights here today. Yeah, Matt, it's always entertaining when we get to see Elena Hakey take the volleyball court. We'll be seeing that, and a soccer cat clash from Tuesday. And boy, I tell you, these football teams that we cover here at North Metro TV, this is as good as I think as it's gotten, at least in recent history with the starts that they've gotten out to.
We'll get into a little bit more specifically, but I mean, two schools are out to undefeated starts, and it's the first time in 8 or 9 years for both of those programs. Blaine not half bad, 2-1 start. So without totally checking into it, we're making North Metro TV history here with the start for all three of our area schools with Centennial, Blaine, and Spring Lake Park combined. No doubt about it. So let's get into that great start here on another great Friday for North Metro TV area schools as we get into our first set of highlights with the Centennial Cougars traveling to Champlin Park. Two 2-0 teams squaring off in high school football week number 3. This game would not start out Centennial's way. A miscue on the second offensive snap of the night. A Caleb Melzer fumble is recovered by Arias Kia for Champlin Park, and the Rebels take it over here early in the first quarter. Play action on 4th and 2. Junior QB Miles Felton trying to get the edge. Good push by the Centennial defense, led by the senior backer Justin Driver, very aptly named. A big stop. The Cougars driving. 2 seconds into the second quarter, Isaac Belinsky Strauss with a 1-yard rushing touchdown would make it 7-0 Centennial, 10-0 after a field goal. Preston Nelson would get a 24-yard runoff here, rumbling his way inside the 5. But the Cougar defense, like your favorite hair tie, you can bend it, but you can't break it. Cougars get a huge stop here on the edge, and the Rebels have to settle for a 21-yard field goal. These two teams trading field goals. You don't see too many of those in high school. It's 10-3 the score still here in the first half. Belinsky Strauss already one on the ground, and how about one through the air? He spins one into Calvin Coppersmith's hands, spinning Copper into gold. A 24-yard touchdown here that would make it 17-3 Cougars at the half. On to the third quarter, Belinsky Strauss with his second 1-yard rushing touchdown of the night, and the Cougar quarterback finding the end zone yet again. A Rebel miscue would help Centennial seal this one late. High snap on a punt, and the Cougars would get the stop. They would get the football inside the 5 after this errant snapback, and the Cougars cashing in. It worked the first 2 times. Why not try it again? Big boys clear the way. IBS scores. That made it 31-3. A late Champlin Park touchdown would only change the final score.
The key to every game for us is our physicality, and tonight it showed. And I know that we had a few mess-ups in the beginning with the fumble and another fumble and then another fumble, but we just had to keep pushing, and we had to realize that we're not out of this game. We're never out of a game, and that's just how it went. We just kept pushing.
All right, so you heard Isaac Belinsky Strauss talking about it. A few miscues here by Centennial. They lose a couple of fumbles in this game, but the ground game for Centennial continues to be dominant. They outgain the Rebels 290-204 on the ground. How about the day for Belinsky Strauss? He accounts for all 4 Cougar touchdowns, including his first passing touchdown of the season. He had 3 all on the ground in weeks 1 and 2 of the season. Preston Nelson, heck of a game for the Rebels, totaling 163 rushing yards, but the Cougars crucially kept him out of the end zone until the game was in hand in the fourth quarter. And Centennial, their first 3-0 start in 8 years. Last time they did that was 2017. Yes, even the state championship Cougar team from just a couple of years ago did not start out 3-0.
Yeah, that team, of course, had the early season loss to Maple Grove. A lot of depth, though, in that backfield. A lot of names that we've seen run the ball, and IBS he's putting the team on his back, and he's doing it right now for Centennial. Blaine coming off a Week 2 loss to Rogers, looking to get back on track with Anoka coming to town on a rainy Friday night. It didn't take long for the Bengals to create a big play, and no one made more big plays in this game than Derek Obuaya. Finds the seam up the middle, breaking multiple tackles on his way down the sideline for a 30-yard gain to, well, set himself up for a 4-yard plunge right up the gut. Bengals take a 7-0 lead as the sun starts to peek out in the North Burbs. But the Tornadoes would storm back. Blake Sieben on the ensuing drive keeps the ball in the zone read. He's able to get into the end zone, an 18-yard touchdown scamper. It's the extra stretch. It's the extra reach that got him 6 in that one. 2-point conversion puts the Maroon and White up 8-6. 30 seconds later in the second quarter, the hard cut to the inside and then putting the shoulder down is enough to get Ablaya his second touchdown of the day. It's 13-6 Blaine at this point. Midway through the second, just get the ball to 19 and get out of the way. Let him do the rest. What looks to be like a tackle for loss turns out to be the most exciting play of the day. It's Ablaya versus the world. The 42-yard run he'll never forget, and we know what's coming. Ablaya bounces it to the outside for a 4-yard touchdown. It's now a trio for the man of the hour. Blaine's riding that 19-horse all night long. 20-8 Bengals with under 5 to go until the break. Maybe it's time, I don't know, to show somebody else on this highlight. Sieben looking to get things going, but Gabriel Zion picks him off. He had 9 tackles as well on the night. Blaine takes over in the red zone, and, well, it sets up more of the inevitable. Ablaya starts in motion, this time catching the ball out of the backfield, shredding defenders all the way down to the 2-yard line. We're just playing a video game, essentially, at this point. It's just unfair. Ablaya gets his 4th touchdown of the first half from 2 yards out. Blaine up 27-8 at halftime. The Tornadoes would make it interesting with a 22-point fourth, but the Bengals hold on 41-30 on Friday night. Coming into this game, Ablaya combined for 19 carries and 83 yards in the prior 2 contests. His 24 carries and 169 yards shatters anything the junior had done up to this point. And he didn't play on varsity last year, so quite the impressive game, certainly the best of his career. His 4 touchdowns were the first touchdowns of the season and his varsity career for him as well. While Ablaya got all the love for me during this highlight, Jamison Niska had another great dual threat performance at quarterback, 141 passing yards, 113 rushing yards. He had a touchdown on the ground and through the air as well. Tyler Reinhardt led the defensive effort with 19 tackles. Blaine is one of 4 teams with a 1-1 sub-district record in the Metro North. They head to Coon Rapids on Friday night.
Yeah, good win here for the Bengals, out to a 2-1 start, but we had another North Metro area school try to march out to a 3-0 start and repeat what the Centennial Cougars had done on Friday. Spring Lake Park down in Class 5A, traveling to Park Center. An 0-2 start for the Pirates, hosting Spring Lake Park in this one. There were no secrets about what John Stewart's Panthers were trying to do. A heavy dose of running the ball with Lamari Brown. The senior had 3 rushing touchdowns the first 2 weeks. He got SLP on the board less than 4 minutes in. And then Sawyer Thompson jumping the passing route with the interception. His first of the year, already the 4th interception for the Panthers defense all season. SLP mixing in the pass, an out route to Caden Conkler. Comes up short on a 4th and 12, so the Panthers turn it over on downs. The Panther defense picking up the offense all over the Park Center quarterback. They force a bad throw. It's the 2nd interception of the night. This one from junior Ian Auland, short of a touchdown, but the Panthers would eventually cash in to make it 14-0. Final minute of the first quarter, sophomore Markeel Mitchell, who's proved a nice change of pace back the first 3 weeks of the year for Lamari Brown. He continues that, a 34-yard touchdown, his 2nd of the year, made it 21-0 Panthers. First drive of the second quarter, how about this catch from sophomore Caden Conkler, pulling in a 12-yard touchdown to make it 28-0 Spring Lake Park. And the Panther defense almost had as many catches as the offense in this one. I'm not joking. Colin Welch gets his paws on his 2nd interception of the season. That was the 3rd of 4 Panther interceptions in this game. 42-0 SLP by halftime. It ended 55-18. Most points for the Panthers since September 8th in 2022.
And what a start. We mentioned it at the beginning of the show. What a start that these North Metro TV teams have gotten out to. Undefeated season so far for the Cougars and the Panthers, and then just the 1 loss for Blaine. They're looking to keep it going here in week 4.
Yeah, Blaine on the road at Coon Rapids. Cardinals have struggled out to an 0-3 start. They just gave up 55 points last week to Andover on the road, and Blaine scored 55 against Coon Rapids in the matchup last season. Centennial, we mentioned it, that 3-0 start, their best in 8 years. They're hosting 2-1 Andover this week. Huskies lost in week 2 in a 4-point game against Champlain Park. Bounced back to hang 55 on Coon Rapids last week. Really good quarterback. Joseph Mapson, a senior, has already got 10 rushing touchdowns, averaging 130 on the ground per game. And he's passed for almost 400 with 3 through the air as well. So the Cougars' game plan is going to be focused around trying to limit that guy's productivity. And then how about Spring Lake Park? Looking for a 4-0 start. Last time the Panthers were 3-0 was the state runner-up team that were 12-0 going into the Prep Bowl against Elk River. They travel on the road to Cambridge, I think.
That's some good football. That's some good football from our area teams. I think a lot of people are looking towards I think it's the second to last game for both Blaine and Centennial at the end of the year. Boy, you want a big-time cat clash. That is a big-time cat clash at that point in the season. I can't wait. Y'all know that we are going to be there. And speaking of cat clashes, we move from the gridiron to the pitch. We had some cat clashes last week for soccer, but we're going to do a double dip, a double dose with some cat clashes from Tuesday night featuring the Blaine Bengals and the Spring Lake Park Panthers. SLP first, the boys kicking things off in the first game of a double dip on Tuesday night. Get things started, 7th minute. Barak Youssef fights his way inside the box, fits it through the window between the keeper and the near post, finished inside the far post to give the Bengals an early 1-0 lead and net his 5th goal of the year. Blaine setting up for a corner in the 11th minute, looking to pad the lead. Damir Sesic has the initial opportunity. Ty Herrera Markwall, the SLP keeper, makes the save from the seat of his pants, gets a little help from his buddy, Mr. Crossbar, and the Panthers survive the chance. Only 2 minutes later, great chance for the Bengals. The cross finds the foot of Mubaro Wayu. But the thing is, he plays for Spring Lake Park. A near own goal, the ball deflects off the post. SLP, sigh of relief. Later in the first half, best chance of the half for SLP. The cross trickles in front of 3 Blaine defenders. Sam Christofferson instead puts it through the football uprights. Yeah, that doesn't count in this sport. It remains 1-0. Second half, 46th minute. Wayu has the ball in the box, dribbles around 3 Blaine defenders. Easy save though for Alec Weil. Shutout still intact for the home squad. 8 minutes later, leading scorer Jacob Knockin tries to score from distance, but the attempt goes high. SLP had a lot of grade A chances in the second half, but couldn't quite convert. And when the Panthers couldn't convert, Blaine took advantage. Youssef with a beautiful pass to Sam Sporniak, and he goes bar in to give Blaine the 2-0 lead with just over 20 minutes to play. 2nd goal of the year, but we hear more from Sam. 65th minute, there he is, right on cue. Sporniak buries the ball in the back of the net to give Blaine the insurmountable 3-0 lead, and that's exactly how this one would end in the first game of a double dip on Tuesday night. Following the win over SLP, Blaine tied Anoka 2-2 on Thursday and then shut out White Bear Lake on Saturday behind a hat trick from Sethich, the first multi-goal game for him since scoring 2 on August 22nd against Forest Lake. Blaine has Totino Grace and Andover this week, and everyone is, we talk about the football cat clash. How about that soccer cat clash for boys coming up on September 25th? Speaking of the Cougs, they're looking down at everyone in the Northwest Suburban with a perfect 7-0-0 mark with wins over Totino Grace and Andover this week. They got Osseo and Champlain Park as the next challengers for the Red and White. SLP rebounded on Thursday, a dominant 7-1 win over Elk River behind 3 goals from Anthony Porter. The Red and Blue looking to keep it going against Champlain Park and Totino Grace this week. Now to the girls. Blaine had not lost entering this matchup. Spring Lake Park only had 1 win in 5 tries. Something's got to give. 9th minute, Panthers with an early corner from Marissa Weiler. The ball drifts all the way over to Hannah Stock, who sends a perfect feed to Lucy Fehrenbacher for the goal, her 2nd in as many games. 1-0 Panthers. Beautiful. Right on the mark. Bengals have a free kick opportunity from Addie Stadden in the 22nd minute. Stadden drives the ball right off the two-women wall and sends a great pass into the box. First attempt goes off the crossbar, but sometimes, it pays to try again. Leah Schmidt finishes to tie the game at 1 goal apiece. The junior doing a great job sticking with it. Panthers looking to build on their lead. A great ball here from Grace Millay finds the foot of Ayla Speck, but Goalkeeper Brecca Snyder sprawls out and makes a fantastic save to keep the Panthers off the board for now. Under 10 minutes left in the half, free kick for the Panthers. Weilert sends it over the wall, and the placement of the ball is perfect, but so is the timing on the jump from Snyder, getting a big paw up there, swats it away. 1-1 for now. This is what we like to call foreshadowing. Lauren Putnam immediately after the save puts it in the same corner from distance. This time it tickles the twine. 2-1 SLP, an absolute missile. That one had some smoke behind it. Second half now, the upset is on. Speck gets in on the scoring to provide some Panther insurance. 3-1 Spring Lake Park, and it's a party in the rain. Panthers take it 3-1 in a bit of an upset here to hand Blaine their first loss of the season. The Panthers followed this win up with a 4-0 win over Elk River on Thursday behind 2 goals from Viv Smith. The junior leads the team with 6 on the year. After starting 0-4-1, the Panthers have rattled off 3 straight wins by a combined score of 10-1. So they're one of the hottest teams out there in the Northwest Suburban. SLP faces undefeated Champlin Park tonight. That is going to be a test for them. And then they host Totino Grace on Wednesday. Blaine was able to bounce back from this loss with a 1-0 win over Anoka on Thursday. Blaine travels to Andover on Wednesday. Centennial finds himself as the top North Metro school in the standings, despite having an even 4-4 overall record. Road games at Osseo and Champlin Park make up the schedule this week for the Cougars.
Yeah, it should be fun. Couple more cat clashes we got coming up on the schedule next week, meaning couple of sports dens from now. We'll have a lot more girls and boys soccer action to bring you here on the show. In terms of highlights, we've got more volleyball on tap this week. Spring Lake Park taking on Totino Grace will be our featured game on Wednesday. As we move to the court here on Sports Den today, you know, typically the balance of power in volleyball's been, you got a lot of the good teams in the south suburbs. Well, how about this year? You got 5th-ranked Maple Grove, 7th-ranked Champlin Park, and of course, our 10th-ranked Centennial Cougars, who might have the best player in the state, Elena Hakey, dominant middle blocker, heading to Minnesota. Her Cougars in action on Thursday night, second conference matchup of the year as the Cougars try to get out to a 2-0 start in Northwest Suburban play. They're 4-2 overall in the season. Kylie Fish gone fishing, nicely done around that dominant Cougar block to break a 3-0 Centennial run early. Chase Manthe, little quick set. Addie Kemper with a big hammer down. A 2-point lead for the Cougars in the first set. Elena Hakey says, hey, Chase, you set him up. I'll knock him down. Start calling her Miss Volleyball, folks. She had a big night yet again. 10-4 Centennial, an overpass. Feed me. You might as well call her Audrey, too. Elena Hakey was feasting up at the line. Hey, run that play where we score. It's the one where you give it to Elena Hakey. Good things happen. A 12-0 run. Centennial runs away with it in the first set to take it 25-11 in the best of 5. We're tied at 5-all here in the second. Nice job to get it over the block. Better job on the shovel pass by Chase Manthe to paint the corner. It started a 4-0 Cougar run. Elena Hakey, feed me Seymour, made it a 5-0 run for Centennial here in this set. Kylie Fish would respond to get the Huskies within 4. And then it would be Chase Manthe, the talented setter for the Cougars, finding Annabelle Steinhoff, the sophomore, puts it down from the right side for Centennial. Andover kept it tight in the second. Addie Kemper kept it on the Andover side of the court with a big block there to make it a 2-point swing for Centennial. More Elena Hakey. Look at this. Gets up way on top of it to pull it down. And this would eventually lead to set point for the Cougars. An overpass, and Aubrey Workala finishing the job there for Centennial. Cougars leap out to a 2-0 lead in the best of 5. Hakey with a heat-seeking missile here late in the third. It would lead to match point Cougars, and an Andover miscue here would end it. The Cougars get it done in a sweep to go to 2-0 in conference play.
I think going into this game, it was just really important to stick to our values, and it's a section matchup, so it's just an important game to do what we can do, and I think we did a good job limiting our errors, and we've been working on that, so I think it was a good team win overall.
I think we just done a lot of serving drills, so I think just implementing that into my game and just going back to the service line and just knowing that I can put the ball away and serving those zones that my coaches put up for me. So yeah, I just think being aggressive and just taking all that in, yeah.
Oh, and the Cougars would pick up a few more wins over the weekend as we're kind of getting busy into the tournament portion of the volleyball season. They did match up with one of those elite Northwest Suburban teams in Maple Grove, not counting towards the conference standings, but they did lose in a best-of-3 matchup with the Crimson. They'll have plenty more shots the rest of the year, and those are must-see events when Maple Grove and Centennial clash later in the year.
Still getting used to Maple Grove not being in the Northwest Suburban this year. They're in the league
Oh, yeah.
for the first time. So darn that conference realignment. Darn that conference realignment. I want to thank everybody for joining us here on Sports Den tonight. Come on back next Monday. We got all kinds of highlights and coverage for you. So until then, he's Matt Dean. I'm Ted LaRue. We'll see you next Monday.